Did you know that in 2025, online fraud officially became the highest recorded computer crime in Malaysia? It is no longer just about hackers breaking into system, it is about criminals hacking human psychology. According to PDRM and Cybersecurity Malaysia, fraud incidents spiked by 45% in the second quarter of 2025 alone. The two biggest culprits are phishing and the infamous Macau scam. The impact is devastating. By September, losses hit 3.6 billion, with 80% coming from online fraud. And because victims authorize these transfers themselves, the recovery rate is critically low, often under 15%. The report highlights that the damage isn't just financial. Lee defines this as non-financial loss. Victims suffer from double trauma, losing their savings and also their dignity. Studies showed that over 60% of victims experience high stress, leading to family arguments and even divorce. In my opinion, we cannot rely solely on banking security. We must adopt a zero-trust mindset. This means never clicking links in SMS or in WhatsApp or Facebook, any unknown links. I strongly recommend using the Semakmule 2.0 portal to check bank accounts before making any payment. If the account is flagged, do not pay. Finally, if you are scammed, speed is everything. Call the National Security Scam Response Center at 997 immediately to freeze the funds. Remember, verify first, trust no one, and act fast. Imagine this. I am the founder of a startup called Bumi AI Berhad. We just built My Rumah, a revolutionary AI software designed to solve traffic problem in Malaysia. The challenge? How do we stop competitors from stealing our hard work? I navigated the My IPO website to find the answer. My first thought was to get a patent. However, under Malaysian law, computer programs are generally excluded from being patented. Therefore, the correct protection is copyright. Under the Copyright Act 1987, software code is legally classified as a literary work. To formalize this, we use the voluntary notification of copyright via the IP online portal. The process required three key things. First, Form CR1 for applicant details. Second, a statutory declaration to legally prove your ownership. And third, a fee of 200 ringgit. Here is the most important detail I learned. You might worry about uploading your secret code to the government. However, my IPO has a smart rule. You do not upload the full code. You only submit the first 25 pages and the last 25 pages of your source code. This proves that the software exists without exposing your entire trade secret. In conclusion, obtaining this certificate of notification is strategic. It provides the legal evidence we need to attract investors and sue anyone who tries to copy My Rumah. In the digital age, privacy is not just about keeping secrets. It is about preserving human dignity and safety. But in Malaysia, every interaction from your touch and go scan to your internet history creates a footprint that others can watch. Leon 2022 defines surveillance as systematic monitoring. My report identifies 6 distinct types present in Malaysia. First, we have database surveillance like CTOS, tracking your debts, video surveillance via AI cameras in care of Smart City Initiative, and ID card surveillance, where your MyCard chip records exactly where and when you access transit or hospitals. Now, who is watching? First, your employer. Legally, they have management prerogative to track your keystroke and screen if you use company equipment. Second, the government. Under SOSMA, authorities can intercept communication without a warrant if there is a security threat. This creates a panopticon effect where fear of being watched stops us from speaking freely. So, how do we protect ourselves? My research suggests using end-to-end encryption apps like Signal and utilizing VPNs to mask your IP address from trackers. While the Personal Data Protection Act (PDPA) helps regulate companies, it doesn't stop everything. As we move into 2025, your best defense is your own vigilance. Stay safe. What happens when a computer fails? If it is Instagram, you get bored. If it is a hospital, people die. Reliability is defined as the probability a system works without failing for a set of time. In this report, I explore how reliability is crucial for safety and economic stability. The most tragic example of this is the DTT3023 radiation machine. Between 1985 and 1987, a software bug known as race condition caused a massive failure. Because operators typed commands too quickly, the software got confused and fired radiation doses 100 times higher than intended. This resulted in 3 deaths. The root cause? Engineers removed physical safety locks and trusted the software completely. Moving to modern devices, I compared Apple and Android. It concludes that regarding reliability, Apple has the advantage. Why? Because Apple controls both the hardware and the software. This tight integration means fewer crashes and longer support, often 5 to 6 years of security updates. Android offers freedom, but the fragmented hardware market leads to inconsistent quality. In my opinion, while Android drives innovation, Apple wins on reliability because they eliminate variables that cause failure. Ultimately, whether it is a medical machine or a smartphone, history teaches us that we cannot rely on software alone. We need robust design and rigorous testing. When engineers built My Sejahtera, they weren't just writing code. They were handling the private lives of millions of Malaysians. The report analyzed this high-stake responsibility using software engineering code of ethics. I focus on 4 key principles. First, public interest. Since the app was mandatory, engineers had a duty to practice data minimization, collecting only what was necessary for contact tracing, not spying on citizens. Second, client and employer. The engineer has to be honest with the government about technical limits. If the government asked for a rush timeline that skipped security testing, the engineer had an ethical duty to say no. Third is product. The standard here is perfection. A coding error in a risk status algorithm, for example, could wrongfully quarantine a healthy person. Engineers were obligated to ensure 99.99% uptime because a server crash would halt the national economy. Finally, judgment. Engineers must maintain independence. If pressured politically to manipulate data, they must refuse. The hardest ethical tension is when the employer's profit conflict with the public safety. For example, if an employee wanted to sell patients' data, the code dictates that the duty to public is always override the duty to employer. In conclusion, software engineers are the gatekeepers of digital right. Without ethics, technology stops serving humanity and starts exploiting it. Thank you.